What is up? Haven't made a video in a while, which is okay. It's not really something I'm consistently doing right now. Kind of whenever I guess I just feel to go do it, that's when I do it. I don't know, I'd like to start channeling a little bit more energy into making them more often. Sometimes I'll make them and I feel like, okay, am I just regurgitating things that, like, I hear from people who I really resonate with? Am I putting enough of an original, like, spin on it? Am I making it my voice? And then I don't need to make the video, whatever. But, you never know. I'm sure you've been in the situation where, like, maybe you're learning something like math class and the teacher's explaining it, like, you just don't get it. But then you, like, ask your friend, like, oh, I really don't get it. And they explain it in a different way than you understand. So you never know when your voice and your explanation and your just funneling is going to be the thing for somebody else. So, yeah, we got to try to do that more. So, but today, I was going to talk about, like, have you realized, like, this world, this realm that we're in is not meant for, like, perfection, not meant for peace, not meant for these things that we chase down for our entire lives. So, it's another thing I got to get good at, or better at, making videos, kind of like having a clear, because, you'll be thinking about it, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. Clear stream of points, and you start saying it. There's not like a person, it's not like a conversation for me to, like, build off of. It's just me monologuing about it. So work with me here, or bear with me. I guess I'm doing the working, but yeah, it's not meant to be perfect. So I was thinking about, like, a situation I got myself into, not even like a bad situation, but I went out, it was last night actually, with a couple of my buddies. One of my friends just turned 21, and we went out to a couple bars, and, we stayed out not too late. I kind of had to be up early this morning to be places, go to the chiropractor, get some other stuff done, but we stayed out kind of late and drank a little, smoked a couple cigs, and, I'm not against the odd cigarette, and I've never been a big alcohol guy, but it is what it is. It's all besides the point. I get into the situation, and I'm enjoying myself to an extent, being with my friends, just hanging out with them, seeing people who I don't get to see all the time. And a couple of them were leaving town permanently. That was the last time I was going to see them for who knows. So, it was a good time. I had a good time. But then I was the first one to leave. It was like midnight, and I was like, I'll see you guys when we get out of here. And on the walk back to my friend's house, I was walking through the city kind of just by myself. And I was really thinking, like, the thing with alcohol is it'll peel layers back. That's why they call it a spirit. It'll make the essence of something. That's why you use it to make, like, extracts and stuff. It'll bring you down to, like, a lot of your finest parts. And I was realizing, like, in that moment, like, not being around a bunch of people at the bar, looking at people across everywhere, getting these little hits of attention, all that, I realized I was like, this isn't what I want. Like, this isn't me. Like, I can have a good time going out here, but, like, a large percentage of it is, like, the mask. And it's a mask that goes and gets what the mind wants. It gets these little dopamine hits. It knows that when it drinks alcohol, a lot of stuff strips away. It becomes more confident. Doesn't think about things as much. It just is. And it knows that other beings find that attractive, and they look at it and they see it and they recognize it. And these little ego hits that it uses, and it utilizes all that stuff for its own like insecure purposes, right? To go get something. I don't mean to paint it in such a negative light. It's just what it is, right? So I was realizing that, and I was like, I understand. Like, I enjoy that stuff in the moment. I kind of enjoy it. It's a hard like game. Like it's like, I guess I enjoy it because I'm doing it, but beyond the semantics, I was like, I don't want to like be here. It doesn't feel right to me. It just isn't aligned with me, and I find myself in these situations more and more. I'm out super late, and I have to be up early. I'm missing out on my sleep. I'm usually smoking weed or smoking a cig, or more and more now I end up drinking sometimes. Most of the time it's weed. You know, I don't really smoke cigs that much. I don't drink much. I barely drink. I don't really get drunk ever. I've been drunk maybe a handful of times in my life. Maybe 3. But most of the time it's been weed in this life for me. So, but it's always that. It's always something. It's always, it can't just be that pure with somebody. I think that's why I always enjoyed high school to an extent, right? It wasn't like my favorite thing, but like in high school, I was like, yeah, I like it. I literally get to go see like all my friends every day. Not even just like my super close friends. Like, it's kind of just like out of the circle friends that like you just have classes with and everything. But as I get to go like really experience being me with them, experience them being themselves with me, it is pure. But now you get a little bit older, and that kind of stuff doesn't happen without going out, drinking, drugs, whatever it is. There has to be some other thing. It can't just be you in a space just doing it. And even if you do, maybe other people are on the drugs, the alcohol, this, that, and the other. But all to say, I keep, like, I was thinking, why do I keep getting up in these situations? I have such a strong conviction. I'm not going to do that stuff anymore. I'm going to work on my art, my music, my athletics, all this other stuff, which I do work on all that stuff. Like, I felt such a strong pull, get everything to that, pull that stuff. Like, I don't need this other stuff. I know it feels good, but like, it just felt drained. I felt stripped in that moment to my core essence. And I was like, all this energy that you're using to go get these little like hits of dopamine, like you can use, like pour into that stuff. Even if it like this like raw below the surface pain isn't getting like constantly hit with dopamine, use that, pour it into something else. But I was like, why do I keep getting in these situations? I know better. I intellectually know a lot of these things to where I should be able to have this peace. I should be able to make things be the way I want them to. But then it hasn't happened yet. It didn't happen today or anything, but I know come a week, a couple days, tomorrow, any day, a circumstance will arise. An urge or a compulsion or something will rise, and there will be a return to something. I'm not saying there will be. Maybe there will be. Historically, every time there has been, and for most people, that's how it is. But it comes down to, why can't I attain this peace? Why can't I obtain this peace? And I'm young, so I'm not saying, and don't get like my words twisted, I'm not saying you can't have like moments of peace. You're expected and meant to have moments of peace so that it can shake around. And it's like, why? Because that's growth. This isn't the realm for perfection. That's why all religions and stuff have an afterlife, something higher where this peace and this heavenly experience is experienced. And they never have to explain it too much. Like, because you got to think, like, if everybody just on this regular earth died, and let's say we went to some Christian-based heaven, it's all up in the clouds, like, what would change? Why would anybody be, what would make it different, than just right down here? I mean, what people would just be walking around fucking off doing whatever, but there's this understanding that when we say it, it's like there's just a balance that comes from being up there. It's not the same as down here. There is a higher level of consciousness, like a higher level of being, and it's like that's for that level, and we know that. This level, human level, the reason why we'll never obtain this world peace, this world anything, we're never gonna like get to these levels. I'm not like being like a doomer, I'm sure actually cyclical nature of all things, we will get to that eventually, but then it'll rotate through. Things aren't meant to be stagnant. They aren't meant to be still. It's turbulent, moving, crashing, erosion. This is the realm to be tested so that we can go up to that next realm and have that peace. Because it's like, if you take a first grader or a kindergartner and you put them, let's say, I'm trying to think of something like really calm, really peaceful, really low key, like a sauna or a spa or whatever it is. If you put a first grader in there, I mean, they don't care. They have no business being there. They need to go experience all their shit. They need to go get hurt. They need to go get in trouble. They need to go learn about the world and be kind of messed up in ways. They need to go kind of get hit and take scars and live through the natural world before they can have that rest and relaxation. And even like the spa sauna example isn't a great example because we don't have a great representation of that true peace on this realm that like you experience on the next, right? So it's like it's not before, you can't get there before our time. We have to go through this training that is this life. It's like people are like, oh, how could God allow suffering if God is real, this, that, and the other? It's like God, you can't shrink God to fit your window of understanding, like perspective of everything. You're thinking about why does God allow suffering? It's like a dream. It's all a dream. Like it seems turbulent stuff now, but when you wake up or when you're done, when you die, it's gonna be the same thing as like when you wake up every morning. It's like, oh, I had a really bad dream. Like, oh, but you're not like, oh, why do I have these bad dreams? That's just that level. You're in the dream. Right now we're in the dream. It's a denser dream. It's a realer dream. But we have to experience it. We have to go through it. God's morality, God doesn't have morality like humans do. We have morality to explain things, to determine, to label, to separate things, to give us an understanding of things that are going on around us, right? And they can be good, obviously. I'm not saying it's bad, but God is omnipotent, omniscient. What's the other one? Omnipresent, right? He has all these things we say for him, but you can't really personify him super well. There's not this morality. It's like, oh, I should have this perfect balance on earth. Like there should be heaven on earth. And you can have to a level heaven on earth, but you can't expect, you know what the real heaven on earth is? The real like peace that you obtain is when you stop aligning with all your suffering and all these bad things that are happening. You stop expecting them to stop, and you stop, oh, it's just hurting so much, like this, that, and the other. But you got to do that for a while. That's why we're here. So that eventually you can, I know this is temporary. I know these bodily ailments that I have, or these mental imbalances that I have, or these situations that I keep stumbling into, this card that I was born with in my hand. You stop aligning so heavily with it because you suffer it for long enough to where you, to a level, give up or surrender it changing. And then there might be some relief or some reprieve. You give up and you give it to the divine. You give it to the next thing up. Because you can't change. How are you going to change circumstances that happen in your life? There are obviously some, what's the word, like, not superficial, it's not the word I'm thinking of, but like some practical things you can do, right? Like what company do you keep, right? But how are you going to control the circumstances that life actually throws at you? How are you going to control the compulsions and urges that get put into your mind? And yes, I understand. I understand the discipline. I understand the this, that, and the other. But you're missing the grand point that I'm saying. All that stuff is a part of the experience. You have to exercise will. You have to exercise discipline. You have to exercise this. But you have to exercise your failure to have discipline. I know we've all had these goals, and then we don't do it. And it's like, oh, I did everything. And it's like there are uncontrollables. And that's the good stuff. That's the stuff that can eventually make you stop aligning so much with all this stuff happening, and then it stops happening to you. It just happens. And then you can maybe find something in it. Stuff doesn't start, bad things don't stop happening, but you stop sitting and wallowing in the bad for so long. And then maybe you'll find some reprieve from the bad stuff because you're not aligning with it. But yeah, I mean, this realm isn't for all the bad, or for all the good, I mean. it's meant to be rough. It's meant to be turbulent, you know. I don't know if this is a good example or not, but like boot camp isn't some easy thing, right? Trying to get into like the military, it's not an easy thing. There's always some hard test or course before getting into something or gaining access to something. So it's still loving. They act like God. Why would he have suffering, all this? He doesn't really love us. It's like, this is the loving. This is the 3D simulator that he puts us into so that we can learn, that we can experience, and we can have all this stuff. And we might see it as bad, and it might be suffering, true suffering, while on this planet. And obviously, some experiences are way worse than others. But it's a gradient. You don't think at some level or at some point you're not going to experience the bad, and you're not going to experience the good. It's like you're going to experience everything because you need the full broad range of being a human. That's how it's going to go, whether in this life, the last life, the next life, yada, 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 all the same, right? So, yeah. Another thing I got to get better at is making sure I hit every kind of topic, not topic, but like every, I can never hit every angle, I suppose. Not in a little 10, 20-minute video. It's probably not possible, but I gotta try my best, right? Yeah, I mean, addictions are a really good thing. Look at addicts. Look at, like, Alcoholics Anonymous. I used to be like, why do they call addiction, like, an illness or something? And it's like, yeah, I guess it doesn't clarify as, like, a normal illness, but, like, I understand now, like, it's an affliction. Like, it's something deep in you. It's some deep karma that has to be experienced and untwined slowly so they can get there. But there has to be a lot of pain to get there, right? So don't get too caught up in the bad of it all. I mean, this isn't, you don't want to spend this life sleeping. It's not supposed to be some calm, lazy river ride. There'll be moments, right? There'll be some really good times, some really highs. But everything changes, right? And there's going to be some really lows, and you can't sit down there either like, oh, my life is always bad. No, it's turbulent. You're meant to experience the highs and the lows until you can realize, oh, it's just like nature. Like, it all copies itself. It's a heartbeat. The little machine in the doctor's office, like, has your heart rate. Little spikies, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like that. There's highs, lows, highs, lows. It's all as above, so below. So you realize, like, oh, that's how it is. And even when you realize, like, awareness isn't everything, right? But if that's what we can start doing in everything that we do, draw awareness to things, then maybe, I don't want to say the solutions, because it's not like there's a solution for everything, but then maybe the spiritual fruits of that and the growth will be more drawn to us if we can start bringing our awareness to these things and start taking our ego out of the table, stop applying our mind to some of these issues as much, kind of just let the awareness clear out everything so we can look at the problem, the situation, whatever it is, we can just look at it and be aware of it and see it. Because most of the time, it's all you got to do. It's all you can do a lot of times. And then you ask, okay, I keep getting myself in these situations. I keep smoking when I don't want to smoke. I keep, some people it's porn. I keep watching porn when I don't want to watch porn. I'm having these urges for whatever it is, alcohol, drugs. I'm trying to think, food. If you're not disciplined with your food and you go and you eat a bunch of fast food all the time. It's anything, right? It can be anything, and it's unique for every person. And maybe it's a combination of some of them. Maybe it's nothing, anything like any of this, and it's other stuff. But I think I had a train of thought that was going on. But yeah, I mean, it's all that stuff, right? And that's you ask the divine. That's what I'm saying. You ask God, the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it. You ask that to help you a little bit, to give you a little bit of reprieve. Like, I know I don't have the power to change the circumstances. So then you try like it's all in your hands, but then you pray like it's all in God's hands. And then if you do that on both fronts, maybe there's a guy I really like, and he talks about that. A lot of the stuff I say is basically, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, like regurgitation, maybe this, that, or the other. It is what it is. But he says, like, work like it's all on you, and then pray like it's all on God. Or wait, I already said that. What he says, it doesn't matter when this thing ends, as long as you're on the path in this lifetime. So like if you're, let's say me, I want to quit smoking weed. Kind of, there's nuance, right? I don't want to smoke it as much as I do. I'd like to be done. But then there's moments that go beyond just compulsion where I'm like, nah, I want to smoke weed here and there. Whatever. But there's these things that we want to quit. Here, let's use a better example. If you're an alcoholic and you want to be done with the alcohol, if you can see it and want it and just bring your awareness to it and ask God and try your best, but you keep relapsing, as long as you're on the path, it doesn't, obviously, base level, it matters because it might be bringing struggle to you, your family, but it doesn't matter when you beat this thing. I know you want it now. You want it tomorrow. I want it tomorrow. I wanted it yesterday. I've written in books 2-3 years ago about how I wanted to be done with weed. I'm still smoking, right? It doesn't matter when, as long as you're on the path and eventually this karma, this seed eventually cracks and you get there. That's what we're looking for, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you get there, because that's when this temporary peace, some level of peace, some level of reprieve, some level of awareness and understanding will come. Yeah, so there's that. It's not a perfect world. Don't expect it to be perfect, right? You're going to hurt yourself by expecting it to be perfect, so. No, it's not going to be. No, there's going to be some good. There's going to be some bad. Bring your awareness to it. Yeah, I've said everything I probably need to say. I'll just start repeating myself if I talk much longer. I'm going to try to start posting more. I'd like to. I think it's good for me. I'm working on music. I'm trying to get better at the guitar technically. I've been feeling really strong urges to just get going in the music. I went to the Strokes concert a couple weeks ago. That was sick. Every time I go see live music, it's like, it brings it out of me, right? And I really want to do that. I had a dream last night after this whole thing, like going to the bars and everything, and there was this like person at this door, and me and my best friend were there, and they were begging us, like asking us, like, go make your music, like express, like make it, create, like use your gifts, your powers, whatever it is. And I was like, oh shit, oh hell. That's what I was feeling last night. Like I want to apply myself to all these good things instead of going and just throwing my energy away. I want to keep that energy in and then pour it into good things, right? But yeah, what I really need is just some a little bit more technical know-how on the guitar. I feel like my mind, like I have the musical mind. Like I don't think I always have. I think just some work from grace from God has just kind of given me a little bit more. I've listened to a lot of music in the last couple years of my life compared to earlier. Like I always liked music, you know what I mean? But like I love it now. And a lot of my life is just based around music, the kind of music I'm listening to, like new stuff that I'm discovering all the time. Good music, So it's a big part of my life now. I want to create, like I said, I just need a little bit more technical know-how. Maybe some understanding, like music theory would be good. But I'm ready. Like that's the stuff I want to do. Yeah, my athletics too. I want to go do what I'm going to do with that stuff. I want to win nationals. There's all these goals, right? Can you control if you're going to get it? I don't know. I do know. You can't control if you're going to get it, but I don't know if it will happen. But I'm going to try every day like it's all up to me. I'm going to pray every day like it's all up to God. And then we'll see, We'll see. And I'm going to have fun along the way. That's what it's about. And that's the cool thing about art. If you can treat your sport like your art, you're going to do really well. Because art, there's no winning in art. You just do it to express. And that's the real championship, right? So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you.